Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence. Today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Retro Stinger and Stinger Driver, which they actually did put Cobra Officer on here. Now, let me just say, looking at this box, I'm pretty sure that the artwork is from the original. So, we're going to crack this bad boy open. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to compare it to the original Stinger and see how much different it is. We're going to compare it to the Stinger Driver, and we're also going to compare it to the Cobra Officer and find out if they fixed that pesky little leg problem that the Officer had. So, but before we get started, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and hit the like button. All right, now that we've done that, let's take a look at the box here. And the artwork looks awesome, but again, I can't tell if this is the original artwork or they've done something new. Like with the Walmart Retro line, they had made some changes to it. So, but we'll take a look at it here. Obviously, there's no plastic here. We're going to see the figure. And we have the old Cobra Officer on the back. He would have gotten blasted off, but for some other reason we never realized that. So when we look at the back here, this definitely looks like it is the old Stinger. We have the crappy file card. I mean, it's nice to have a file card, but could we get one with our language and an actual detail? But 5 language, I don't know why they have to do it, but Hasbro says they have to. So there's the top of it. Cobra the enemy. I'm excited. Let's stop looking at me. Let's crack this bad boy open and see what we got. Alright, so again, here's the box. I have already pulled it out. And let me just say, here it is. There's stickers. I absolutely hate stickers. I know some of you guys like stickers, but I hate them. And here on the inside, here's a tissue paper with everything. And as you can see, it is in 2 parts, so we will have to assemble it. So we'll do our little snipping to get these off. All right, and take a look at this figure here. So if you notice, the beginning of the video kind of got broken up because my daughter decided to call me right in the middle, and of course I'm going to answer her phone calls because God forbid if something bad was happening, and I don't want to take the phone call because I'm making a video. So here we go. First thing we're going to look at is the Cobra Officer Stinger Driver, and I just want to see if they fixed the leg. And hell, I think these ones may even be worse than the other one. So take a look at our Cobra Officer. Yeah, wow. So they definitely did not fix the issue with the knees. So I will drop a link for my other video, and you can actually see what my issue is, because you can't even get a 90-degree bend with the Cobra Officer because they didn't cut this properly, and I was hoping they were going to actually fix that. So here's our instructions, how to put it together. I have a feeling this is going to be fairly easy. So I don't think I'm going to put the stickers on it right away. I don't think you need a review on how to put stickers on, but here's how it goes together. Obviously, the shell goes on top. All these pieces go on. So let me put it together. We'll open up and see what's here. So a bunch of little pieces. I have a feeling this should be, again, easy to put together. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop it, put it together. You can already feel a difference, and I can tell you right now that this is the old Stinger. Not only due to where you can kind of tell here that it's painted different and the skin tone is different, but the wheel wells are gray on the new Stinger, and they're not on the original. So let me put this together. I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch me put it together. And then we'll take a look at everything and see if it's better or worse than the original. Okay, so I've got this thing back together, or shall I say together. And to be honest, it wasn't that bad, but just put it together for me. I'm an old man. I don't want to do it. I now know why my dad absolutely hated doing it when I was a kid. So, you can clearly see this is the original Stinger on the back here. This has gray accents. I'll be honest, I like the gray accents. I think it really sets off the vehicle rather than it just be all one color. But you should have at least done a different photo shot of it if you're definitely going to change the color patterns of the front and everything. So I don't know why they didn't do it. I don't understand why Hasbro and G.I. Joe do some of the things that they do. So I'm going to say right off the bat, one of the biggest issues I've always had with the Stinger is the missiles, and it doesn't seem like they really fix that. They're still hard to push on. Now, the actual rack itself does pop in. It doesn't have the really, really awful system that this one had, where you kind of popped it in and turned it, and eventually it would break. This kind of just pops right in. Make sure you put the steering wheel in first. Don't try and put it in once you put the shell on. I did that and I had to pop it off because it's a pain, but I can't read directions all that well. So we'll take a look at it. Here are the two. Let's see if we can get a good shot of them. So front of them, you can clearly see I am missing, or it's actually just worn. It's still there. What is kind of funny is that they put all this gray, and then the push bar is actually grayer, but this one isn't. So this one is loose. This one is nice and solid. You have the gray doors. They do come up, same as the original. All right, so there's a side-by-side comparison. Then you have the back. Handlebar is held in nice and tight, so he can be holding on to it when he gets blasted away from the missiles. Now, they did put holes here, so you can probably use blast effects. Maybe some of those Sky Striker blast effects will work, but the original didn't have it. And I would assume that we can use either or. So, well, you know what? I'm not going to try and push down, but they should use the same peg hole. And then we have side here. Again, they look extremely similar. You can imagine we're probably going to get a Vamp and a Vamp 2 soon enough. So, pop off one of the missiles here. And again, it uses this really awful way to put this on. That's why so many of these racks broke, because if you push too hard, you're going to break it up. And this one here, it's very soft. So the missile is much softer than the original. But looking at them, you can see how one has a nice sheen to it, which is obviously the original. This did come, you don't have to put the sticker on it. For these ones, I believe you had to put the stickers on it, because they got another one that doesn't have stickers. So it already comes on there. And for the most part, you just kind of have to press the same way that we used to, and voila, it's on. It seems like you're never going to get them all to go straight. This is tighter, so moving it up and down is much easier than this one. So again, this is one part of the Stinger that I've never been a fan of. All right, so let's get this thing back on here. Let's pop this open, take out the Stinger driver. I think I have a better one downstairs, but this one's going to have to do for right now. So there he is in all his 1984 or 85 glory. So they did paint the rivets. Again, I'm not sure why, but they also flattened them, and it seems like they made them bigger. So it just sticks out even more. The silver really never bothered me. Actually, none of it ever bothered me because I was a kid. You can see how faded my original one is. And all the way to the back. Again, this is the same as the Cobra Officer, so I will drop a link to that. But he is a nice gray. The skin tone is just this very, very old school, like Caucasian color skin tone that I feel like we used to use. So, looking at the articulation of him, you know, the arms, we get 90 degrees. He just feels kind of loose. This is my biggest gripe. I've even emailed them about it and said, hey, you know what? This isn't right. They were supposed to fix it, but clearly they just don't care. But everything is the same because he is the same as Cobra Officer. Does not come with any weapons or anything. To get the figures in, you can almost always just have to pop off the top. What does he fit in? There he goes. So we'll look at the side and see if his legs. So right there, there's an issue. Oh, there we go. So it has to go to the side. Guess it's not an issue. They kind of have to go to the side. Wonder if this one is the same way. Yes, I guess they're both the same. If you don't push the feet in, it's going to hit a piece right on the side there. Then we can drop top on it, and there you have your Stinger driver. Kind of protected. Of course, if we take our Stinger Officer and put him on the back, there is no protection for him. He's going to get blasted right off the back, just like the original. So, I'll say this. Feeling this right off the bat, plastic is completely different. All right? And here, my original, you kind of hear that nice little pop. And then this one, you can definitely hear that there's a complete difference. So this is way softer, so you're not going to have to worry about things break over time. I would say same with the doors. They're softer. This is super smooth here, where this always had some sort of texture to it. Not sure how well you can see, but you can kind of see that there's some texture to it, and I do believe that's just the plastic. So we pop this off. This one is extremely smooth. Don't know if it would fit over here. Yeah, so you'd actually be able to put it on your original Stinger if you wanted to. I think because this is so soft, I'm not going to press it. One thing I definitely did notice that I did like about it is, if you remember, there's always an issue with the Vamp or the Stinger that this would get broken when it gets pushed down. Well, on this one here, it is all one mold. So you never have to worry about that happening. It's going to stay. The only way that's going to break is if it actually snaps in half. So looking at this here, this already comes on it. I don't know why they give you one sticker. So clearly, myself or whoever had this put this on the wrong side. I don't know if this is my original or not. And I feel like there should be a better way to do this. Probably with a higher end camera. Alright, that is me just rambling on. So you can see the detail is there. I mean, they did recreate this pretty well. Again, the changing of the plastic. I feel like it's definitely quieter than the original. And that's not from years. I just remember how they used to be. It seems like the wheels are just like, you know what, I should probably lower it after I raised it. Here you can kind of see this is all kind of like one, where these ones are definitely worn, but it always seemed like there's a seam right around there where these wheels don't have it. So I think they're going to stay smoother, and they do have the metal axle on the bottom. All in all, it is nice for $32, and I'm going to go into that. So let's wrap this up. Let's take out our Stinger driver. There he is. I actually post a link because these went back up on sale. So let's wrap this up. As you can see, they look pretty much the same. Alright, so you know what? Kind of dawned on me. I didn't really compare the figures. Again, I already did the Cobra Officer, but we'll quickly take a look at it. This one is definitely a faded figure, as you can see, but it is still intact. So we'll start off. The Cobra symbol is much bigger on the new one, but it does have the exact same harness that goes down it. Obviously much darker. And then even on the belts, you can see they're the exact same. This one seems to be a little bit bigger. Hands seem to be a little bit smaller. Again, they are softer plastic, so we don't really have to worry about the thumbs breaking. And then when you look at the crotches, can't believe I'm saying that again on camera. This one obviously has a thicker crotch, and can't believe I just touched it. It has a thicker crotch, and I do believe a better plastic, so we don't have to worry about the crotches breaking years down the road. Well, years. 2 weeks after having the figure. And then on the back, you have the same H-strap. And again, the gray just pops a little bit better, but the knife is the same. It's clearly a little bit thinner, but that looks more like it probably should be. And again, you do have the beady eyes compared to the old style eyes. And again, you have a more, I guess, crayon-like Caucasian looking face. But there it is. Again, there's not too much more to it, but I kind of forgot to, and as I was doing some pictures here, I thought, you know what, I didn't even show the figure. I mentioned how it's just like the Cobra Officer. And again, I will drop a link to that, so that's that. Alright, so there you have it. I sometimes get lost. I want to do like first impressions. Like this is the first impression that you're getting. So I haven't had time to open this up, play around with it. You're seeing exactly what I'm seeing to begin with. You're seeing what I'm seeing as a first impression. Yes, I did watch one video, one review. So a lot of people said, hey, you know what? How is this thing like $33? I think it was $32.99. And when you have figures like the Cobra Officer, if you break it down, they're $22 each. And people are like, well, it doesn't make any sense that this is $33 when a 2-pack of figures is $44. $44 now. But I believe the way they look at it is this is the accessory and you get one figure. There's no stand. There's no weapons. So with all the other figures, you get extra weapons, you get a stand, you get weapons in general. You get it on the card back, everything like that. This is his accessory. They don't give you an AK-47, although you have more than enough weapons now that he can use one that go with the other figures. All in all, it is a decent looking vehicle. If you don't have a Stinger, it's going to fit. I like the gray. I think the gray on black looks really, really nice. And if they can give us a Vamp and a Vamp 2, and give us some of these other small vehicles for roughly $33, $35, I'll be more than happy to pick that up. Because I think that is a fair amount in what everything is going for right now. I have this stuff. I don't really need to reorder it, but definitely I like having some of the newer stuff. I like doing the reviews, compare and contrast. You can see the difference. The plastic is much softer. If I was to put this in hot water, I could mold it any way that I wanted. And you'll actually feel it when you go to put this on, that this wants to keep going underneath, unless you make sure you keep it on the outside. So, but if you don't have a good missile rack system, because it's broken, it's a good replacement. And again, they went back up today, so I will post a link to that on Hasbro Pulse because that's the only place they're available. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they show up at BBTS a little ways down the road because some of the 2-packs showed up there. So all in all, there's our figure. There's not much to him. Only goes side to side. I would love to see an update. I said this before. I want a Cobra Island Trooper in O-ring form. I wish they made it so the neck went down. You know, give them, you know, swivel wrists so their hands swivel so you can get their guns to look a little bit better. Update them a little bit. I don't need the exact same. I mean, give me the exact same, but that's not the exact same. That is how much they should bend. And it does bother me, I'm not going to lie, when I did message them. And I'm not even going to tell you who I talked to, but they responded and said, yeah, we know about it. It was late production. We didn't get a chance to fix it. Well, you didn't fix it. You, like Hasbro, said, hey, we don't care. You're going to buy it anyway. And that is bothersome because there will come a point that you price us out, you give us crappy quality, we're going to say, hey, I'm out. This is something I can overlook. The problem is, this isn't a one-time thing. Go to the Vipers and having different arms, some of these loose legs on some of the figures. Now they seem to be some of the older figures, classified I'm talking about. But you look at Duke's face, he's all mangled up. Like, you have to start addressing some of this stuff. So I'm definitely going to wrap this up here. Put some stickers on here, do some thumbnails. It's not the only O-ring that I have to do. So if you know the other O-ring property or the other O-ring figure that's coming out or that is out, well, you can probably figure out what review will probably be next. So I'm going to get out of here so I can do this. It's been a long week for me. I kind of just want to crash. So anyway, you know the drill. Instagram, Twitter, A Punk with Toys. Facebook page, Facebook group page, Punks with Toys. I will drop a link to it because once you join, you're a Punk with Toys. And as you know, subscribe, like, bell notification. That's the other one. Come on, why am I telling you guys? You guys know this. Help us grow. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Have a wonderful night and happy toy hunting.